This is Youngstown State head baseball coach Rich Pasquale sitting down with YSUsports.com 2 weeks into the fall schedule up to this point. Just discuss your thoughts about how things have progressed overall.
Well, I really like what's going on offensively, defensively, the way our pitchers are performing in their bullpens, in their flat ground work. Everyone is really right now getting after it. It's great teaching them right now because, face it, this is our spring training. And, we're on the field and we're getting a lot of good early work before going right into our practice.
All right, you said earlier when you and I talked a couple weeks ago that a big thing you wanted to discover during the session was who was going to replace those guys who are gone from the middle. Just talk about, what progress you've made there.
Well, I think, the returning pitchers, if talk pitching, we're really looking forward to what Phil Klein and Kevin McCullough can do. We're looking for them to, really continue what they've done last year. Today I'm really looking forward to seeing what Phil, this will be his first outing in an inter-squad later today. Kevin McCullough had a very, very clean 2 innings the other day. And so looking forward to seeing those 2 guys really be the backbone of our pitching staff. And then with the young arms, Nick Manapelli did a very good job the other day, and we have Ryan Krokos going today as well, just to speak on a couple of the freshmen. We really look for them to give us the innings in the spring if they continue what they're doing now. We look for them to give us in the spring what, Blake Quadro gave us last year, Alex Fry, Billy Tarosky, and Kevin McCullough. We feel pretty strongly about the freshman and sophomore arms.
Then defensively, catcher, second base, short, center field. Just talk about those positions a little bit.
Well, behind the plate you have, Johnny Christ, who's been here a couple years now, and the experience. Craig Goubeau's doing very well, redshirt freshman behind the plate, and now we have, Joel Williams doing some good things behind the plate. Over at first you have Jeremy Banks, tremendous year last year. Really look for him to drive in runs this year. Greg Dissinger over there as well, being a first baseman / DH. Second base, the middle guys are really working hard. It's kind of a toss-up. There's some very good competition going on with Phil Lipari and Patrick Williams over at second, along with David Leone and Dan Herleman at short. So up the middle, it's fun watching. It really is. And over at third, you have Drew Dosh and Zach McFarland. Really getting after it defensively, and you have some power swings there out of those guys, and looking forward to those guys. In the outfield, we have 5 outfielders, and it starts up the middle, and so we have some different guys, and we worked yesterday some early work, and we had all of our outfielders practicing and getting balls from all of the positions. With 5 outfielders, they're going to be asked to play all positions. So it's important to teach them, where to back up, their responsibilities on the backup roles, but also seeing balls off the bat, reaction in the different areas. So it's been exciting seeing them grow in these last, several weeks. And, we're going to be putting it into inter-squads right now.
Next Wednesday you have Scout Day. Just talk about what all goes on Scout Day and maybe some guys that have already been looked at by scouts.
Well, Scout Day we always work with Kent State. Kent State goes at 2:30, and there'll be about 15, 18 pro scouts, and they go through their workouts, and then they'll come down at 6:30, and it's at Eastwood Field, and we'll run through everyone will run a 60-yard dash. Just like pretty much a pro workout. We'll do an extensive infield outfield so the pro scouts can evaluate their arms, their fielding abilities, and then we'll go into our BP, our batting practice circuits, and so they'll get a chance to view them not only hitting, but then when it's their turn in the field, seeing how they're getting their reps, that kind of thing. And then we'll have our draft eligible pitchers throw. a bullpen for them. Just not throwing all fastball curve, but really having a selection on fastballs into a righty, that kind of, and just really showing how they can hit their spots. And, we give every pro scout a packet on our roster, numbers. Our players will be in uniform, so it's easy to identify them and evaluate them. And it's an exciting time, and I know the scouts enjoy coming. Just to pick out one, for example, the Houston Astros scout was here last year, and that was the only time that he saw Jackie Healy was at our scout day, and then just tracked his numbers online, and Jackie gets drafted, and their team wins the minor league championship in their league, and so that really helps, along with the other guys, of Aaron Swenson signing a free agent contract, but also Eric Marzik, them having him on their radar as well to be drafted later on in June.
I know that Phil was getting some looks even heading into last year. Is there anybody else who's been scouted a little bit heavier than?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Phil, there have been some pro scouts have already, talked about how Phil has been doing after the summer and everything, and maintaining his arm strength and that kind of thing. But, I would say pretty much more on the position player side, Jeremy Banks, being a junior, good defensive first baseman. But more importantly with him is, his power. His ability to go the other way in the left gap. He's a left-handed hitter, but his power to drive in runs, so he's in the driver's seat as far as being a junior. So we have to take into account him. Possibly may not be here. Good for him, good for us, because there again shows that we're developing our players for the next level. So Jeremy's definitely someone there that has a chance. Joe Ikebuchi. Joe, has improved since he's been here defensively, but no one could ever say he's taken any dips or anything hitting wise. He has grown as an offensive player and an offensive threat as well. So I'd really like to see Joe continue his improvement in being an overall type of hitter, power, and to be able to hit for average as he's been the last couple years. And really hopefully he gets a shot here as a senior sign this year.